Welcome to the Local Small Business Coach Podcast, where we discuss everyday challenges local small business owners face and help to provide the information you need to increase your profits, boost your sales, improve your processes, and develop stronger teams. So if you're looking to take your local small business to the next level, let's dive in. Here's your coach, Tammy Adams.
Hey, badass business owners, welcome to another episode of the Local Small Business Coach Podcast, where each episode we work on getting you to $100,000 in take-home pay. Today, we're going to discuss a question I got about niching your business down. So if you're ready to boost your profits, increase your sales, improve your processes, and develop stronger teams so you can stop living job to job, then let's dive in. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the show. It is Thursday. That means it's question time. Yes, we're going to get back on track with our questions. I know we kind of took a little break off there, but I love your questions. I love getting them in person. I love getting them through email. I love when people reach out to me. So if you have a question you would like answered on the show or just answered in general, don't forget you can always shoot those over to me at tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. And who knows, it may make it to the show, but at minimum, you're going to get an answer back to try to help you out. All right. Well, today what I would like to discuss is a question that I got from somebody. His name is Tommy, and he has a handyman business. He's looking to grow his business. And as you know, one of the things that I had talked about was you've got to work on increasing your hourly income, which will help you grow your business. And he's been looking at his business and trying to figure out where he can grow it. And one of the challenges that he's been running into is he does a lot of nickel and dime type of business. Basically, $60 here, $80 here, $150, $200, just helping people out around their home, installing a ceiling fan, for example, or stuff like that. And when he's thinking about trying to scale that business, one of the challenges is there's only so much time in the day and so many things that he can do to try to grow it at that rate with those nickel and dime type of items. And so he started thinking and he was looking at his business. So we kind of went back and forth a little bit on, where is the majority of the money coming from? So yeah, he's got nickel and dime stuff, but where is he making bigger chunks of money? Is there any themes that he's got? Well, he's got a few different things that he's been doing recently that are bigger ticket items. For example, he's been helping people put some decks on their homes, which is a higher ticket. He's been doing some painting, which is a little higher ticket, and also some remodel type stuff, which are higher tickets. So one of the things that we started talking about is that if he really wants to try to grow his business, that is definitely an area that he should probably look at doing. While he's got a lot of happy clients with the nickel and dime stuff, it's really not going to allow him to grow that business. For example, if he can do a painting job for a couple $1,000s, if he can do a deck job for a couple $1,000s, or even a remodel with a couple $1,000s of profit on any of those, that's a lot of nickel and dime, little handyman stuff. So one of the areas that we talked about is that it's probably time for him to niche his business and to really pick a lane, and maybe become a specialist. Now he could still do some handyman things for his existing clients that he's already got, but in the meantime, maybe start doing that shift to specializing in something different. And, is there a particular area that he likes? Does he really like painting? Does he really want to just move over to being a painter or building the decks? Being a handyman, one of the things that he really likes is making things and building things out of his hand. So more than likely, the decks and the remodels are probably going to be the stronger pull towards him. And he's really finding that he likes some of the remodeling stuff that he's been doing, because it allows him to use all of his different skill sets. So one of the things we talked about was, why doesn't he start transitioning his business into being less so much of a handyman per se, but specializing. He's a handyman who specializes in remodels. That if you want to redo your bathroom, he's your guy. If you want to redo parts of your kitchen, or if you need help redoing your kitchen, maybe a homeowner who probably could use another secondhand, stuff like that. He's somebody that can do it. If you want something built inside of your home as part of a remodel, maybe you're putting in an entertainment center or something like that. Just thinking of different things off the top of my head here. But some of the things that we talked about is that it might be smart for him to do that, as long as he saw that there was a business need out there, and not to just jump tomorrow into doing it full time, But start that transition, start testing the water, seeing if he can pick up more and more, maybe transitioning any marketing that he does to saying that he's the remodel guy, specializing in handy remodels, whatever the case may be. There's some different things that he can do from a marketing standpoint that'll help pull more of those types of customers. And what he might be able to do is over the next year, start a transition to where he goes less and less of nickel and dime stuff to full-time on the remodeling side. The other thing we talked about is he might want to find somebody that can help him as like an apprentice who can do some of those nickel and dime stuff. I've installed many ceiling fans. They're not hard. A lot of people just don't like to do them. They just don't want to get up there and they don't like electricity, whatever your case may be. But you can take someone, teach them how to do a ceiling fan, and now you've got somebody that can do that piece for you. And you can also teach them some of the other, stuff that people don't like to do around their house to fix things. An apprentice that you can bring aboard. Also, guess what? They work as another great set of hands when you get into some of these remodeling jobs, for example, that he might want to do. I thought I would pull this question out, not just to share his story, but also to get you thinking about your business. When you're looking at your business and where you're spending your time, and if you've been following along when we were talking about the series about increasing your hourly income, one of the things that you can do is increase your sales, obviously. I mean, really, you need to increase your sales. There's ways you can tweak money behind the scenes to get more profit, but in order to grow your sales and without working more hours. And that's always a very difficult thing. So the challenge that each of you have is, looking at your business and saying, should I niche this thing down? Am I doing too many things? I always challenge you, is there one or two things that you can drop or you can do less or less carry? Can you specialize in something? And whether you're a brick and mortar business or a service-based business, there's certain things that you can do. I was listening on the radio, for example, to somebody who was doing a podcast. I think it was one of the podcasts I was listening to. And she was a dog groomer. And she decided to go completely outside of the norm and niche on cat grooming. Yep, cat grooming. Now, she said that in the beginning, it wasn't like this huge market, but the more that she would spend time in it and build a name for herself and everything else, she became the go-to cat grooming person, not only within her community, but for other folks that are outside of the community. Now, you might not want to grow it to the size that she did, but the bottom line was she found a special niche that most people didn't want to do. Cats are a little bit more finicky. They have a little different way of being done. They don't just sit there for you to groom them, but that's where she kind of settled in. So think about your business and ask yourself, what do you want to be the specialist in? For most of us, there's some piece of our business that we can automatically just look at the books and realize, wow, this category or this item does 80% of my sales. And how can you maximize that? How can you become a specialist and niche into that particular area? And if you're like our handyman Tommy, are you doing a bunch of things that are nickel and diming you to death, and it's keeping you from scaling your business? It's keeping you from being able to grow at the rate that you want to do. My challenge to you is, how do you get rid of some of that stuff? How do you get rid of that nickel and dime stuff? So this way you can focus your time and your attention into the parts that are going to allow you to scale your business to the degree that you really want to do. There's all different types of folks that can do this. For example, if you're a cleaner, do you specialize in commercial cleaning? Do you specialize in retail cleaning, customers' homes? Do you specialize in being attached to real estate agents where you get in, you're once and done? Or do you build up an entire business of repeat business? All three of those are, for example, different areas that you can niche into. There's cleaners that make tons of money just focusing on commercial buildings. And if you're in an area that there's tons of them, go after that business. If you've got a lot of real estate transitioning within your town, and these realtors need folks that they can recommend out to their clients to clean them up, do it. Get hooked up with a property manager who needs somebody they can count on, especially one of these big property management companies, or even one of the little ones that, probably you're going to have better luck with one of the little ones where they need somebody that they can call to get that done. So think of your different business, pool cleaners, same thing. There's pool cleaners that specialize just in cleaning. There's some that do specialize in just repairs, and there's some people that do both. Is there one part of I've watched some pool cleaners say, hey, I'm no longer doing the maintenance piece of it because I make so much money from my regular customers. But maybe that's one of those things where you have additional help to help with the regular pool cleaning piece and you focus on the repair maintenance because there's so few people out there that will do it. Think of ways that you can kind of stand out from the rest of the crowd. That's where this whole niching thing really comes in handy. Now, before you make that complete jump, you want to kind of do your homework at the same time. So, for example, with Tommy, one of the things we talked about is saying, okay, how many jobs do you need to have to offset your current business? And then how many jobs to continue to grow that? So, for example, if he's got a big chunk of his nickel and dime stuff, does he need to do 5 jobs additionally on remodels to offset if he was to completely get out of the nickel and dime stuff? So know your numbers, figure out whatever it is that you decide you want to go niche into. Look back over the business that you're about to get rid of and ask yourself, how much more business do you need to pick up? And not just a sales number. Work that all the way back and ask yourself, how many jobs, if the typical job costs $1,000, how many of those jobs do you need to do to be able to hit your target number? So I want you to make an informed, intelligent decision before you just go dumping pieces of your business. You need to know how much business you need to do, and you need to have a transition plan. How are you going to do that? Don't just do it tomorrow. If you've got more business than you can shake a stick at, or you've got help that can help you with that transition, fine. That's a completely different situation, but you still need to have a transition plan. No matter who you are, you want to have a transition plan as you can kind of move your business over. For example, also, how are you going to market it? How are you going to get the word out? How are you going to deal with your existing customers or clients that use your business? Is it going to be a slow transition to where they're really going to not notice it as much? How are you going to communicate it? You understand all those different things. That's a real important thing to do. So at the end of the day, my main point of taking on this question and sharing it with you guys is I think it's a great opportunity for you to look at as you look at growing your business this coming year, and you're looking at increasing that average wage, that average income that you're making. Because remember, your average income isn't your labor hours. It's not about your labor hours. It's not about that sales. It's about every hour that you dedicate to your business. Because remember, you're supposed to be working on your business as well. So during those times that you're doing your emails and you're looking at your marketing and you're building all that, those hours count as well. So the only way that you can take on more business is not to get rid of those hours. Those are the most important hours that you spend on your business. The goal is when you are doing the actual doing piece, how can you increase that to help offset the other stuff? Because remember, time is money. And when you're sitting there and you're doing your marketing and you're planning on your business, all of that is time well spent on figuring out how you're going to grow your business. Best way to do it so you don't continue to add on. I don't want you to work more physical hours. Some of you probably need to do that, but for the vast majority of you, you need to actually carve out more hours to work on your business to increase it. So my goal is not to make you work more physical hours as much as it is to maximize the physical hours that you have so that you can spend more time working on your business to grow it and scale it and to get to that $100,000. All right. Now with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And if you would like to have your question, don't forget, all you got to do is shoot that over to me at tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. I also want to remind you that if you haven't already, head on over to thelocalsmallbusinesscoach.com/8 steps and get your free ebook on how to get to $100,000 in take-home pay. We walk you through the 8 steps I recommend that are going to help get you there. And with that, I want you guys to have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye for now. Hey, before you go, I just have one little favor. If you have a subject, a topic, a question that you would like have answered on the show or talked about, please shoot me a message over at tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. Once again, I want to hear from you, so shoot it over to me, tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com.